Recording's in progress.
Well, that's good. It's already been a morning when we didn't know if we were recording or not. We've had technical difficulties so far this morning. So, good morning from Tammy and Danae. Welcome to episode 2 of Warrior Women. And today's episode is Don't Let the Mean Girls Win. Now,
It's not allowed.
not allowed. Not allowed. But the question is, do you know what we mean when we say don't let the mean girls win?
It doesn't. It can be anybody.
Now,
It doesn't mean that you're in school. They're still grown people.
And that's yeah, exactly. Because we think bullying is only happening in the school.
No,
But bullying is anywhere, it's everywhere.
it's everywhere. It can be
Workforce,
from a young person to an old person.
and workforce, law enforcement. I mean, all
everybody, anybody.
I mean, I'm sure we've been mean.
Oh yeah, I've been mean. I've been one of them. I try not to be anymore.
So, and we try, but we are not perfect. Isn't that what we were talking about last week?
Right.
Done, but not perfect, or better than perfect, or something like that. Anyway, so last week we kind of hit on don't let the mean girls win, but what we're talking about, and my notes are kind of printed small, so I'm going to have to wear my eyeballs and probably then get closer to them. But, when we talk of what we're meaning today, and this, it's not all inclusive in this, but we're talking about like toxic behavior, bullying, and negative influences from others. So,
because it can make you sad, hurt your feelings, think you're not good enough.
and it can affect everything you do that whole day, or a week, or 2 weeks, or the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And so when I was going through my issue, that was what Danae kept telling me: don't let the mean girls win. And I'd never thought of it like that. And so I liked it. And so we decided we would do a study on it. And here we are telling y'all what we found out. That basically the mean girls are the bullies, or it's just toxic behavior coming.
I've learned too that some of them didn't get to be bullies when they were kids. They got bullied. And so now they're the bully when they're older.
See? I mean, it can come from siblings.
Mm-hmm.
It can come from our parents. I mean, it's sad. I mean, years ago, my grandmother, I mean, she didn't mean anything by it, but she was probably a mean girl. She didn't like how I did my hair or my clothes, or if I didn't stand up straight, or it was a constant thing, and I have to watch myself not nitpicking on the grandkids.
Yeah.
So, really like your hair today, but
oh, thank you. Because I had somebody tell me the other day they didn't like it. So.
But what's not to like?
I don't know. They don't like my natural color.
They're used to her blonde, or her purple, or her pink, or But I think she's beautiful.
I don't want to do that no more.
So, well, I've got all natural up to about right here, but I don't want to cut it all off to be that short. So
no, we're not cutting it off.
We're just kind of letting it grow and then cut, and letting it grow and then cut. And eventually I will be all natural. It's not too bad. It almost looks.
I wish I had that gray streak. I just have a bunch of little grays.
But they're wisdom highlights.
Yes.
So, yeah, you already hit on the different places that the mean girl mentality can hit, but it's not limited to just the schools, and it can be the workplace. It could be social setting, even online.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just the other day on TikTok, this one girl, she was talking about somebody being mean to her, and she didn't do nothing. But it happens.
And I can remember when some of the earlier photography we did. And, we have ladies who it takes guts to put your photos out there to advertise for us. And, not all of our clients are this big around. A lot of them have curves. Some of them have more curves than others. But I can still remember some of the negative remarks that one woman in particular put, that she couldn't believe that anybody would have their pictures made, let alone post them on social media. And I'm thinking how I got rid of the comment as fast as I could. And I hope I got it down before the client saw it, but it hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Because that takes a lot of courage to go out there.
That's what we did the photography for, was to make women feel better about themselves.
No matter your size. I mean, look at me. I'm sitting sideways today because just last week I felt like I took up the whole screen. Well, but have you had instances where you felt like the mean girl, somebody bullied you? I mean,
oh yeah, I was bullied in school. I was called a snob because I was too shy to talk, and they didn't realize they just thought I was a snob because I didn't talk. They didn't realize I was like so shy. If I did talk, I would stutter.
oh wow. Well, I had people make fun of my lips, and
Why? They're perfect.
but I mean, I
I
would
would go to the doctor to get that.
but I would walk around literally with
No.
hiding my lips because
you definitely,
and
people pay big bucks for your lips.
and then back in high school at our junior senior prom, they would do like the juniors would do prophecies over what the seniors were going to do, and the seniors would do something over us. I got girls' funniest walk.
I got dedicated the ability not to drown when I go outside.
Wow. Wow. And that really makes you want to walk in front of people, or
it made it worse.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can remember opening a door to a classroom and someone that they had their back to me they were like, "Oh, that's Tammy. I can tell by the way she opened the door." How did I open the door?
Yeah.
But those comments really, obviously, they affect us because we still remember them.
Yeah.
And we may put them behind us, but they come back at the most obscure times.
Oh yeah.
And then you want to huddle and cry and have your pity party. And I did recently I had one, Danae had one, I think last week, that had her, it affected her. And I've been told all of my life by so many people that I talk too loud. And I am loud. But you make excuses for it. I'd say I couldn't hear well, or I made excuses for talking loud. But I'm just a boisterous person. I have a personality that is loud.
I wouldn't call it loud.
So, but I remember one of my stepbrothers going, "You don't have to yell at me. I'm sitting right next to you." Like, I'm not yelling, and so you don't want to talk. You don't want to be around people. So when we say mean girls, it doesn't mean it's just coming from females.
No.
And it's not just happening to females. This applies to men as well.
I just watched Young Sheldon yesterday, an episode where this little girl was being mean to him, and he was petrified. But she was mean.
And it's sad what's happening. It happened when we were younger, but now there's social media.
Oh, and it's gotten worse.
And so.
And words hurt just as much as anything.
What is it, that old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? That's a lie.
Yeah, that's a real story right there.
It's such a lie. So, but mean girl, what is it? Behavior looks like and can include gossiping, exclusion. They can exclude you. They can manipulate you. They have that passive aggressiveness towards you. And we all fall prey to it. I mean, you can't not.
Mm-mm.
And it's just, it makes me angry to watch how we all get affected by people's words.
Yeah.
And our words affect us too. And, the power of life or death or life and death is in the power of your words, period. So we can make or break somebody. And so, my goal on a daily basis, I want to say our goal,
Mm-hmm.
is to lift somebody up
Yes.
daily. And
Well, that's usually, if I see somebody being mean, I'm just usually super duper nicer. I just,
oh,
you know,
you see people walking alone and you can tell they're sad or even if they're not sad, if you just smile at them, say hi to them.
but you don't look at them and go, I hate it when somebody looks at me and goes, smile. I don't like that either, because
No.
it's like, I'm not sad, but
I did that just the other day. I think it was yesterday to my granddaughter. But I changed it as soon as I finished saying smile. I went, it improves your face value, but if you're smiling, it'll make people wonder what you've been up to.
Yeah.
So I tried to put a positive spin on it so that I didn't make her insecure.
Yeah.
But it happens. So,
because some people won't smile because of other things too.
yeah, well, I
Like
mean,
somebody's made fun of their teeth, their lips,
they may smile. I mean, no,
they might have a crooked smile.
our faces are not symmetrical.
Some people don't
So-
smile because of
Mhm.
reasons that somebody was mean to them about.
And they've made them so insecure that they don't want to. And I just saw something on my notes. Some of the reasons that people are the mean girls: insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
They feel insecure, so for them it's easier to tear somebody down because that makes them feel powerful, makes them feel better about themselves. And the power struggles, peer pressure, the lack of empathy. They don't feel empathy for others. They don't care. But when we treat others like that, or when we ourselves are treated like that, it has such a negative impact, I think,
Oh yeah.
on our mental health.
Yes.
And of course, mental health is something that's really not talked about. We're supposed to smile and move on. But when you hear the words, just like we talked about last week, you're not enough, you're not good enough, you never will be, that replay button constantly replays. And we have to learn how to stop the rewind, tear the tape up. But these people that are being mean, we have to look at them and go, oh, you poor thing. You're so insecure. And it's not, and I'm not thinking I'm better than anybody, but you can look at someone and realize and have empathy for them that they are so
Mhm.
insecure that they have to tear somebody down.
And I've learned too that some people are mean because they were mean, they've been mean too, or they're in pain. I've learned pain causes a lot of meanness.
Yes. Chronic pain.
Chronic pain causes a lot of meanness. Like they were abused. And that,
Mm-hmm.
it's just, there's different things that can make people mean. But
And
then they need to fix that too. I don't know.
yeah, it all boils down to recognizing, are you a mean girl? Are you the subject of the mean girl? Are you both? And we can change how we treat others.
Most of the time they were mean girls or mean people because they were
they were bullied,
Yeah, they were.
or
Yeah.
they're just
They've just seen it, and they're just
they watch TV.
not happy.
Let's face it, TV teaches
Oh, yeah.
a lot of bad habits,
Yeah.
and so does social media. And
Oh,
and
yeah.
so if we can recognize and learn to deal with these toxic people, then it puts us on top. Not saying we're better than them, but it gives us a leg up to our own self-help, self-understanding, and we can help others. Does that make sense? And so, identifying that, in the workplace, there's a difference in being a supervisor and getting onto somebody and tearing them down, or getting onto somebody and building them up. And typically, if you're tearing them down, that's the mean girl mentality, the bullying, because they're insecure. They don't know how to properly build up and create team players. When I worked in management many moons ago, I would never ask anybody to do something I wasn't willing to do myself. And you can't just tell somebody, well, go mop the floor, and assume they know how to mop the floor. They need to be taught the proper way, or what you deem the proper way. Because if they go mop their way and then you tear them down for it, you've belittled them when you could have brought them up and built them up by showing them the proper way. My mom likes the analogy of when she had me iron her clothes. And I don't remember this, but mom wanted me to iron all of her pants. It's back when everything had to be pristine. And mom didn't like how I was ironing. I wasn't putting creases in anything. I wasn't doing it to her liking. But then she says, she realized she never taught me how to iron what she expected.
Right.
And once taught her way, I'm not saying it's the only way, but what she wanted and how she wanted it, then I could iron. And I even had a speech class in college, and we had to do demonstrations and stuff for speech. And this one lady demonstrated how to properly iron a shirt. And to this day, I still iron my shirts like she demonstrated because it works so well. Mm-hmm. But teaching versus tearing down, two totally different things, but can be done in the same situation. I'm working with my grandchildren on cleaning the kitchen, because you can say, go clean the kitchen, but they may not know what you mean. They may just think that means washing dishes, right, and pile them up like a Jenga deal. And I play dish Jenga. Okay. I'm not going to lie. It's fun pulling them out. But I'd go in there and the cabinets were still dirty. The floor still dirty. Trash needed to be taken out, all that stuff. So yesterday I was explaining, and then I left one thing out. I left out the part, yes, the floor needs to be swept, but the floor gets swept last. Right. And my granddaughter's like, why? I'm like, because you're going to knock things in the floor. You're going to sweep, as you're wiping the counter down. Well, then if you've already swept the floor, you work your way from the top to the bottom. Right. And so we have to teach, and we've had to teach each other different things over the years, and we've worked with other stylists, and some of them you just want to go, what in the world are you thinking? It's my way or the highway, but it's really not, but if you're a supervisor or manager, business owners, if we can think to teach instead of belittle, and tell someone you're not enough, you're not good enough, you're never going to get it, train them a little bit better. Train them in what you expect, but build them up as you're training them. Don't tear them down. And so that's, does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So, and I have to have a drink. I'm sorry. Earlier I had the tickle in my throat. Now I just have a dry mouth. So, and I can remember insecurities as a teenager, young teen, preteen, tween. You know, I could be sitting alone at a table, or I could be at a table full of other people, but no one's talking to me.
No.
But if there was a group of people together, I automatically assumed they were talking about me.
Oh.
And, or if they were laughing, they were laughing about me. And, you know, it's the worst feeling in the world. And, but that insecurity, they're not thinking about you. But we're still insecure because we've already been beaten down by the mean girls at some point in our lives, be it our siblings, our parents, grandparents. You know, they all mean well, but we're only human. So I don't try to take over this conversation. I just like to talk. And for those of you who are listening, you can't see that Danae and I are looking at each other. And but if you can identify the toxic behavior, what they're going to be like, if you have the opportunity to turn around and walk away, obviously that's the best thing before it escalates or tears you down. Sometimes
because I've learned too, the best thing sometimes to those people is to not say anything, because they can turn it around their way.
Yeah,
And make you out to be a bad person when you didn't do anything.
well, yeah, they twist everything, and if you try to defend yourself,
So it's usually better to stay.
and it's hard for me to stay quiet, as y'all can
I'm
tell.
good at it.
I might have to bite my tongue till there's blood coming out of my mouth sometimes to, you know, but setting boundaries is, if you can have, but a lot of these people, you can't set boundaries with them.
No.
You can't do any of that. So you have to create boundaries for yourself and decide, what are you willing to listen to, and what can you do to change it? But you have to identify it. And sometimes identifying it comes too late because you're already broken down for the day or the week or the month. And it takes a little bit longer to build yourself back up. A lot longer, because toxic people.
And some people are just mean. I don't know. That's I'm just like,
They are. They're just they need Jesus. But yeah, you're right. They are mean.
Those texts, and I would just grab my phone and I'm, why are these people so mean? And that's when I just text you back. Don't let them mean girls win.
It's just like, I still, when you think back, I could never walk up to somebody and go, I don't like you.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna like you. So don't send me a friend request on Facebook. You know what I should have done is send her a friend request on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I didn't, because I didn't care. I mean, you know, but I couldn't walk up to somebody. I mean, if I don't like you, and there's very few people that I don't like, but I'm just going to go around. And if I know you're going to be snarky, I'm going to stay away as best I can. But I mean, that's all I know is, you know, stay away from them.
And it's hard not to snap back.
It really is.
Really,
because I want to defend myself.
But I've learned too, that's usually what they want.
Yeah.
They want you to just keep snapping back at them so they can just keep it going.
Because they know they're getting a rise out of you. They know, and so it's an ego trip or a power trip or whatever. You've just built up their low self-esteem because they got you.
Yeah.
And they know they did.
They make you out to be the bad person because you snapped back, and
yeah, they'll be the ones that go running to the boss.
Right.
to tattle or tell their friend. And when they tell their friend,
Turn around.
it's all turned around, and now you are the bad guy.
You're the mean girl. I don't know if we've ever been mean girls, Timmy.
Oh no, Halo, perfect. Yes. Yeah.
I forgot my wings.
They're in the back. I found them the other day. There's the white set and the black set.
I need one of each.
And we could, they're kind of bent right now. So, the back end of the building, I've been slowly cleaning it. And oh my gosh, she and I have accumulated so much stuff over the last, I've forgotten what, 12, 13, 14, 15 years we've been in this building.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even sure how long we've been in this building. And we have so much stuff. And
13.
And now I have an apartment up here with 3 dogs and a cat. And the dogs aren't little dogs.
It's got Great Danes.
One of them still looks like a puppy, though. She's 2 years old and she's still small compared to Great Danes.
Compared to the other ones, but she ain't small.
So, but just, remember, try not to retaliate. Try not to jump down their throat. Come back.
And like the social media posts, those are so annoying. Don't do it.
And there's things I see people post, and I'm like, it'll say to the person that ran me off the road, or whatever it is, and I'm like, do they really think that somebody's reading their post?
Yeah.
Or are they just doing it to get attention? Are they, and I mean, I just think of it as pot stirring. But sometimes I've wanted to post some stuff.
Oh yeah, there's people that don't know how to drive.
And but I don't know. Overall, I try to put positive stuff on social media because I want to, even when I'm having a bad day, I want to lift people up.
Yeah.
I want to, encourage them. I mean,
make people smile.
Yes.
Tammy always wants everybody to smile.
I just, what's our saying in photography? We want you to smile in your eyes.
Smiling, Tammy.
Yeah. First, her Elvis snarl, and, but the smile doesn't have to be on your lips or anything like that.
See it in your eyes.
Your eyeballs can smile.
Yes.
Nothing else. And so if you can smile with your eyes, and the best part is if the mean girl is doing mean girl stuff, keep smiling, but not with daggers, because
you too.
yeah, I had a few daggers recently. So, but and so if you can build your resistance, resistance, not the same thing, but, and then, in doing that, work on your self-worth. If somebody says something to you and it affected your entire day, maybe think about it and think about how you could handle it differently, but possibly do some studying.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to those I ams and look in the mirror and work on your self-worth. I am worthy. I am good enough. I am, I am. And self-worth, once beaten down, or if you never had it in the first place, it's hard to build back up. It's really hard.
Yep.
And Nay and I have both been there. And we still, guys, just because we're doing this, we are not perfect. We have our days.
Oh,
We have our lazy days. And but if we can see how a TV show is affecting us, or how our boss and their attitude is affecting us, parents, even our children, how they affect us, because our children can really affect us.
Yep.
And so, but if you can see all that, then you can focus on what triggered you. What are your triggers? To, if someone said you're not good enough, was that a trigger? Did you ignore it? Did something else trigger you? But start realizing, what it is, and let's overcome it. I mean, I have a bad trigger when someone tells me I'm too loud. I mean, it triggers me.
Oh, yeah.
It makes me mad.
Yeah.
Hurts my feelings. The lip thing anymore, most people don't say anything about that because women pay big bucks now for what I have naturally. I'm not bragging, but I mean, they do, and I don't. But so that part doesn't bother me anymore. But when you tell me that I'm loud, and I know on these speakers, these microphones, I know I'm coming across louder than Danae is. I did take acting classes. I can feel myself projecting my voice.
But that's not, everybody's different too. Is everybody has a different voice.
Mm-hmm. And so, but your triggers, so if someone triggers me by telling me I'm too loud, well, my first reaction is to get ticked off. I mean, I'm not gonna, and I'll come home or I'll text Danae or I'll slam a door.
And get louder.
Yeah, exactly. I can get louder. You want me to get louder? And so, you have that first impulse to react. And then what we choose to do with that reaction is sets the tone for the rest of our day, week. So
you have to tell yourself to not be the mean girl.
Yeah. Because, I could huddle up and go, I'm too mad, blah. I don't want to talk. I won't say anything ever again. That's you turn it internal and you'll go, I just won't say anything to you ever again. And, who did you hurt more, them or yourself? I typically hurt myself by doing something like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, and what do you turned around and do? A few hours later, you're talking to them again. But you said you weren't going to. But trying to be positive, trying not to react. But I think there's, a deal about counting to like 5 to 10 seconds before you speak. It's so hard. 5 seconds is a long time.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to 10, that's even longer, obviously. And so by then I have a whole conversation ready to go.
I wish I could.
And I've got I hit the 10-second mark, and I mean, yeah, it spills forth. And so, yeah. And so guess what I did? I let the mean girl win. And so what we're wanting to encourage, and we're trying to encourage each other, is, focus on our personal growth. Try to surround yourself with positivity, positive people, positive influences. It's kind of like an addict who needs to, they're sober right now. So if you're in like rehab and you're sober, one of the things that they talk about is you have to change who you hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, if it's a work person, you can't change that work person, but you can still get and work on the peer group that you have and being a leader to that peer group to be a positive influence, so that it's kind of like, I come and she gets these text messages from me, probably a lot of typos too, because, I only type with one thumb, and It's rather entertaining. Something to be, I know it has something to do with being left-handed, but, have that support system so that you can vent to them. Janae's favorite phrase to me is just breathe. She bought me a ring. It says, just breathe. And that's it. If you can just breathe, you can calm down. And that support group that you create, and that's what, like I said, with an addict, a recovering addict, they need that support group. And so I'm comparing it the same way. We all need a positive support group. And then when they, when trouble's coming, they're going to come every day.
Oh, yeah.
And as our parents age, they may come more than once a day. Thankfully, I know that some people have to deal with aging parents that have like dementia and Alzheimer's, and you get that sundowners, the anger and stuff, and I can't even fathom what they go through.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because I'd want to yell back. And so, but hurtful words from your parents, no matter how feeble they are, they're still your parents. They're still going to hurt. So,
Yep.
Find people, create that support group that will help build you up. That, the journaling, writing the positive stuff to yourself.
You got that notebook in?
Yes. Get the notebook.
I'm giving you a reason to go buy a cool notebook. Come on now.
My granddaughter's journaling. She's
awesome.
and she's designing it, and she's writing Bible verses in it, and she takes it to school with her. So when she's having tough times, she can turn to it because she's been showing it to me. And it's so exciting to see her growing like that.
Yes.
and learning at a young age.
I mean, I might bring my notebook one day and just let you see the
She has more than
scratch.
She has more than one notebook. I have several notebooks because I carry different ones and I have them in different places. So anybody could pick it up, but they wouldn't be telling a story.
No, they wouldn't. They'd be going, "What is wrong?" No, that doesn't make
It
no
makes
sense.
no sense. There's no punctuation.
It makes sense.
But getting it out of you, spilling it forth, helps.
Yes.
It really, really, you'd think, well, it's on paper. I could keep rereading it. Well, if you think you're going to keep rereading it, burn it.
Yeah, don't.
But don't let it stay inside and fester. And I did for a lot of years.
And sometimes when you reread it, like I have, I don't do it very often. You look at it and go, "Why did that bother me?"
Yeah.
And so
you've grown.
It helps.
So, but I mean, I know I keep saying but. I mean, I'll listen back at these tapes. So I'm going, oh my, I got to get better.
But I forgot what
I did. I'm like, oh no, I'm trying not to say but. So it still goes back to the support system. And so what if the mean girl said, you don't know how to sweep, or you don't know how to mop, or you're not good enough? So what? You want to come back with what you really think about them. Don't. It will only drag you down into their level, and you want to stay above that for your own sanity, for your own leadership skills. I mean, you can get wet. I mean, I get frustrated over wait staff sometimes because they don't know customer service.
They weren't taught.
And it's like, okay, just breathe, and give them a tip anyway. Just because you had to ask for tea 10 times, they don't know. But how we react can affect that person. So, we don't want to be the mean girl and tearing somebody down. So here I go. So we need to, she's going to get me so tickled, and it's just going to be all she wrote. We also have to realize, these mean girls, they have their own struggles.
Yes.
And
and that's the thing. You have to remind yourself they got a problem with something.
Yeah.
And
And
made them angry or they're hurting or something. And there's something.
So
then there are people that have no power.
Some of them just get joy in tearing others down.
Yeah.
But I think those have such low self-esteem that that's the highlight of their day.
Yeah.
Because it made them feel better. We need to pray for them. Oh. Don't look at me because I said, Oh my goodness. So we want, part of the big deal of doing one on the Mean Girls, especially after we did You Are Enough, was to start that healing process. They kind of go hand in hand. But
she's gonna say it again.
I'm trying not to do my cackle. Yes, she did. So what? I don't know how long we've been on. So this could be a really short podcast, or it could be a really long one. I really don't know. I should learn to look.
Mm-hmm.
But don't give other people, the mean girls, don't give them the power over you. And that's what I learned years ago, is when we react, we're giving others the power over us.
And then you're just acting like them.
Yeah.
You're just being one of them.
And they get fixed. They get a high because they got a reaction to us.
Yeah. And then they can change your words. They can put words in your mouth, turn them around. All that good stuff.
So don't give them power over that. You focus on your self-worth and you build your resilience. You keep telling yourself you're good enough. I'm not going to let the mean girls win. I am good enough. And like I said, journaling, looking in the mirror, and on those bad days when you don't want to get up or you don't want to go to work or school or church or wherever it might be, because you don't want to see that one particular person, stand there and remind yourself you're better than that. And, pray for them. I mean, we got to pray for those that aren't the nicest. We don't know what other people are going through. Yeah. We only know what we're going through. And once we realize our triggers, we can slow them down. Eventually, hopefully, we can stop what triggers us once we realize the triggers. But don't change your life to accommodate the mean girl. Right. Be you. You grow in a positive way and don't lower yourself to their level. Put, even on bad days, even on your negative moments, positive things on social media. Mm-hmm. Comment something positive on someone else's post. I have a really bad habit, a voyeur on Facebook. I'm on it more for business than to be social. Mm-hmm. I like to put stuff on there that's positive, but I'm not trying, I don't feel like typing with my one thumb on my phone. And so I don't do it a lot. And that's one thing I'm working on. That's like my goal that I've started this week, is to tell someone I'm praying for them, or tell them that they're beautiful, or give words of encouragement, because the more you can do things like that, the more you help yourself. I mean, I went out of my comfort zone yesterday. I did friend requests on Facebook. I typically don't even do that. No, I'm, my little bubble that's full of ads and everything else on Facebook. But I tried last night to make comments, positive things, and not get in the vortex of the negative person and add to the negativity.
Right.
I mean, how many of you remember Joe Exotic? Okay. His post, and yes, we did a photo shoot out there, and I have nothing against him, but his post, it was like a train wreck you couldn't look away from. It was like, when they used to have those, what I called rag mags, the National Enquirer and all those, that everybody would buy to get the latest gossip. Well, you can get it on social media, and because people are airing their dirty laundry. Just don't be one of them, and I highly recommend, I'm not going to tell you not to, but I highly recommend not being one that helps stir the pot. Because, I've had a lot of pot stirred against me on social media due to our photography and different stuff. And some people don't forget what happened. And, so you don't want to get out there and stir a pot, and it's your banker that happened to see it, and then you go to want to get a car loan, and he goes, well, you remember that social media post? No, I already forgot about it, but they didn't. And so it's so easy to fall into that trap of pot stirring. And
it's a mean girl type.
It is, because we're tearing somebody down somewhere. Someone that may not use their blinker, or, yes, I've called people names, they just couldn't hear me. The favorite one I did years and years ago, we still lived in Texas, is I called somebody a double moron. My kids still remind me of the double moron. And it is what it is, but they couldn't hear me. They didn't know I called them a double moron. But, you pulled out in front of me on a road that was rather busy. So, but this week, we'll see what our call to action, encouraging you to share your own experience with toxic behavior. If you want to message us, you want to comment below this, or if you just want to write it in your journal to get it out. Share your own experiences. Remind yourself how that toxic behavior affected you and how you can overcome it. What did you do to overcome it? Or what should you have done to overcome it? What can you do if it happens again? Then mention just, again, be positive. Now, I do want to tell everybody that we are working on slumping. My grandmother would roll over, poke me in the shoulder blades. I'll sit up straight. What was I saying? Oh, we have a subscriber. What do they call that?
Subscription?
Yes, a subscription now. We're working on, it'll have different videos that, the subscribers themselves will have access to. It'll have a private group with question and answer time with the two of us, which should be pretty entertaining. We're gonna have some merchandise. There's like warrior women coffee mugs and different things, some t-shirts. And so you'll have access to different things like that at discounts. We're still working on everything. I believe the subscription, I think we decided, is $4.99 a month to join us for more stuff, more fun times with warrior women. Oh, we sound really bad that way, but we really are enjoying doing this. I hope y'all are enjoying it. I look forward to next week. I'm not sure which one we're doing next week. We talked about the imposter syndrome. I have a really bad. It's hard for me to do a lot of things because of the imposter syndrome. I feel like a fake. And I dealt with it with photography. Sometimes I still struggle with it. You know, been a professional photographer for years. And sometimes I feel like I'm not a photographer. I don't know why people call me that. And, I've been doing it for almost 20 years.
Because you are.
So once again, don't let the mean girls win.
Just breathe.
Just breathe. Take a breath. Pause. Don't bite their head off. Don't kill them. Don't slay them on social media. That would be the easiest thing to do. Rise above it. And if you need us, know we're here. We will help you breathe. Highly recommend a support group. Create your own. We will be creating a group we have a Warrior Women group, but we will be creating one that's a little more private, a little bit for the subscription holders. So that what's that saying that do for Las Vegas? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
What happens in our group
Stays in the group.
what you tell us doesn't go anywhere. If you need to talk in private with us or pick one,
And
we don't. I have kept so many secrets. It's like, I'm glad my brain don't retain stuff.
I'm glad there's not thought bubbles above our head, and so we are here. We really want to help everybody grow, and we look forward to next week. I think we're ready to peace out. Peace out.